We saw a lot of people for Kimberly, and we saw a lot of actresses, some pretty big names came after, wanting to be in the movie. But we had to find somebody that was sensitive, you know, vulnerable. Once we saw tape on AJ and then we brought her in, she just nailed it.
You guys all heard about Flight 180, right? How the kid got the survivors off the plane.
You mean Alex Browning?
Yeah.
My premonition is just like his.
With AJ Cook, I think we are the luckiest people on the planet. She's lovely, she's talented, she's doing a terrific job.
A girl that could have some fun because they're going on a trip, they're going to have a good time. Yet somebody that could stand up to Claire and kind of challenge Claire and raise the bar with Claire.
You know what?
What?
I think you're a coward. I think that you hide in here so you don't have to help another living soul. In my opinion, you're already dead.
I feel like we're at the beginning of what is going to be a very long and successful career for her.
It was great to work with my daughter. It was so much fun as a father to be there. You know, we have an incredible relationship that we can actually be with each other every single day, you know, and have fun. And we just looked forward every morning. We got up, got ourselves energized, got each other into the day, and would go just attack at it.
He'd ask me advice about me and my friends, like how we would talk in the car or how we would react to that.
Oh, good one, man. Yeah, you're hilarious. Whatever.
There was a lot of funny dialogue in there that me and my dad had come up with. We just tried to have a lot of fun with it.
Road flares, sunblock, mace.
Condoms, whips, chains.
During shooting, Tawny was there by my side for all of the performances, and I'd turn to her and I'd go, "What do you think?" And she'd go, "Yeah, it was good." Or she'd go, "Dude, let's do one more." Hey, Dad? Yes, sir. Careful, kid, you're...
He'd actually take my 21-year-old advice and incorporate it just to see if it'd work or not.
She came on as my assistant, and now she's a producing partner with me in our future endeavors.
People are just like, I could never work with my dad, but me and my dad get along very well.
Whips and chains. That's nice.
Whatever, your dad's cool.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on her.
Well, that makes me feel a lot better, thanks.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Hello, the guys are waiting. Watch it! Watch it.
Sorry. My fault.
You want me to drive?
No, I'm good. You're freaking mine? What the hell are you doing?
What is it? What are you freaking out
Look, there was a pile of dead people in it, or there's gonna be. I saw it. Okay, that's it. My turn to drive.
Just relax. You need to chill the fuck out.
Okay, you may be right.
Of course I am.
One of the things I love about Keegan Connor Tracy is her energy, and I think that the role of Kat needs to embody that kind of self-aware, nervous energy of somebody who is really so self-absorbed that, without being overly malicious, is incredibly rude and incredibly insensitive to the feelings of all those around her.
This cannot be happening, see, because my career is at a peak and I finally met a quality guy.
But doing it with this sort of, you know, glib glee. She's very happy to be incredibly mean to you, but doesn't know that.
Oh, God. I don't know, I'm so thirsty. Didn't you guys have any Fiji or something?
And that is what Keegan brings to this, is that she's able to create a character that you kind of dislike intensely, but you don't dislike so much so that you don't understand why she is the way she is.
Are you turning in there? Ah! Jesus Christ, you think you can give me the heads up before you do that next time?
Yeah, sure. I'll just put it on quiet mode.
I think that's going to provide an interesting vulnerability at certain times that make you care when she dies, but in some ways be glad that she's dead. Michael Landis. Yeah, baby.
What's going on here?
We'd met with a whole bunch of different people, and at the time he wasn't available. And then through a variety of circumstances, he became available, and we snapped him up, and it was very quick. Within, I think, 36 hours, he was on board.
Today, some loony bitch blocks traffic. He avoids the worst pileup in years. I should be so damn unlucky.
Hey, look, you weren't there. It was weird. She knew that, hey, she knew the log truck was gonna shit the bed. She knew.
They called me on a Thursday. They said, go in and read. And I went in and read. And then they hired me Friday, and I was on a plane Sunday.
We just wanted to find someone that was young and that could relate to these kids, you know, so it wasn't an older guy, but still strong enough, you know, and yet sensitive.
Evan Lewis is dead.
I know. I've been getting calls all morning from everyone who was on the on-ramp. Now we're gonna get together at my apartment tonight. Everyone on death's list will be there.
And he was great, and so he's brought a really good kind of balance to that part. Gary Keeple and I go way back. We first met on Baywatch when I was directing some second unit on there, and he was a second unit DP. And then we kind of went our different ways, and I worked with a lot of different DPs, and then we came back together. On our first big film together was Waterworld, and Gary has a great background as a DP. After working with him again on Waterworld, I just decided never to not work with him again. Gary and I have done 9 big second units together, and when I got this opportunity, it was also his first film as a first unit DP. What's great is he's also a really good director, and so we talk about more than just the lighting or the camera movement, but he keeps me really honest with everything that we're doing. And he's just kind of like my secret weapon, a guy that I bring with me on every film that I go.
Casting TC as Eugene, which we originally sort of envisioned as sort of a Woody Allen, Nebbishy character, has got 10 times more life than it ever had. It's got 10 times the personality, this charisma that TC brings to it. He's such a great presence.
I mean, the timbre of his voice and the way that he can take the most absurd lines and deliver them with such gravitas that you believe what's happening.
Wait. But this is where it starts to get a little freaky, right? So a month goes by. Everything seems okay. And then all the survivors start to die, one by one.
As a performer, he really is able to work with his eyes. He doesn't have to speak, and that was the great bonus on top of the fact that he's got such a deep, rich speaking voice.
I'm the one that controls my life. Me. Not fate. Me.
He can really say nothing and say even more.
From the first day rehearsals, it was like, that's amazing. That's great.
I control my fate. Me.
I don't know why we're even here. I don't know what you want from me. Some crazy chick blocks the highway with a car, said there'd be an accident, there was. Big deal.
Too funny. But if I was never meant to pull over, we all should have died in that pileup.
Here's what I don't get. For 9 months, Death does all this shit to make sure that I win these tickets and end up on Route 18 at exactly the right time for the pileup.
Yeah?
Well, why single me out? What am I in the great scheme of things? It's fucking weird, man. You think I stepped off Flight 180 or something?
One of the things we didn't want to do, because as you are at risk with any sequel, running the risk of regurgitation and just sort of replaying the same movie over and over again, is we had Alex Browning and Claire Rivers, Devon Sawa and Ali Larter. Their characters at the end of the movie were sort of in this position where clearly they were the only two left, and they were clearly in some sort of a relationship that would force them to sort of fight death back to back, sort of the Old West kind of thing. Now, if we did that and started out exactly that same way in part 2, as we were talking about how do we introduce Ali Larter as a character, how do we introduce Devon Sawa as a character, it didn't feel dramatically interesting.
Because in the end, no one can escape death.
They just felt that if we ended the movie with, these two people and then we just pick them up, it's like last week on Final Destination. So we kind of wanted to mix it up and kind of change how we approach this film.
There was one survivor.
The debate was, do we do it to Devon or do we do it to Ali? And really, the truth is, women drive horror movies. It's just sort of a little-known fact that women generally respond to thrillers and horror movies much better than men. And we wanted to create strong female characters, so the decision was made to have Devon Sawa's character, Alex Browning, die off screen before this movie started.
And this is what happened to Alex when I was responsible for him.
The dramatic impact that has on Ali Larter's character is one of the things that made her want to come back to the movie.
Get out. You're gonna hurt me or yourself.
It positioned her in such a way that she had a much more potent arc and experience to go through during the journey of Final Destination 2.
Get some rest.
Mom,
Yeah.
you think the guys that were talking to us today were BSing us or what?
Yeah. Some people just need some rewiring, that's all. Lights out.
The doctor's ready for you now.
If he gives me the gas and I wake up with my pants unbuttoned again, we ain't paying.
Tim.
We all should have died in that pilot.
Which means death could be coming for us.
Do you know what? You're all certifiable. Can't believe I've been listening to this crap. Let's go, Tim.
Mom, stop tripping. Yeah, lady, we're just yanking your chain.
Well, then you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Scaring people like that. Let's go.
Laura, you okay?
My husband died 4 years ago. And now, Tim, there's nothing left for me.
Look, don't say that, okay?
Do you know what? If I'm supposed to go to heaven and be with my family, I'm okay with that. I can accept it.
You gotta trust me, okay? We can fight this. If we just stick together long enough for her to have her baby.
All right, if you'll excuse me, I have a funeral to plan.
Hello, Claire.
We brought back Tony Todd, who played the mortician in the first film. And sort of like the old man on the mountain who has the information that the young upstarts need, our group goes to visit him to see if they can glean more information about what they're up against.
Come to pick my brain.
Just a simple question will leave you alone with your new friend.
He's just a gentleman who has spent so much time with corpse and elements of the dead that he just thoroughly enjoys what he does. Dead. It's still fresh.
Ugh, I'm not looking forward to that scene because it's in a morgue and there's going to be all these dead bodies and ugh. Even though it's fake, but it's still, ugh, gross.
People are always most alive just before they die.
And the nipple ring gets pulled out of it. Whoa! Gross.
Some people say there's a balance to everything. For every life, there's a death. For every death, there's a life. Death comes when you don't expect it. It can be the 88-year-old grandfather or the 10-year-old niece. But when it comes, it has to be done with dignity.
Favorite character on paper was Rory.
You gonna bust me, bitch?
He's great comic relief. He's got a drug problem. He's funny. It's all that. And Jonathan Cherry is awesome casting because he's just so funny, and the way he delivers these lines, it's like, oh yeah, that's good. That's better.
Calm down, Kimmy. It's not drugs. Just a little weed.
A lot of fun. Very opposite of me, actually.
What I think will surprise audiences is that for all of the humor and for all of the sort of, itchiness that he has with Kat, there are some moments where he reveals how vulnerable he really is, that the sort of shields come down. And right then and there, you're really going to be sympathetic towards Rory.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Will you take these? And if I die, will you just, take all the drugs out of my car and, the paraphernalia and the porno, anything else that's gonna, break my mother's back.
You like him at first because he's the funny guy, but then you care about him because you realize that there's a place that humor comes from that we all share.
Get you to step out of the van, miss?
Are you kidding me? What did I do?
This vehicle's been reported stolen.
What do you mean, Grand Theft Auto? That's insane.
If you wanted to boost the car, you really should have waited till after the birth, you know? I mean, no Twinkie defense, but...
My God, Jorge, this is unbelievable. I swear to you, when I get out of here, I'm gonna sue his cheating ass off.
I'm Jim Moriano, Foley artist, and we're about to do some sounds for this roller coaster.
My name's Jeff Wilhoit, and I'm also a Foley artist on Final Destination 3. And we're going to show you some of the mechanics of creating sound effects.
Keep it subtle.
We don't
until after the hydraulic, the hose
apart,
breaks,
yeah.
and then that's when it kind of starts going crazy.
Our main staple for horror movies and anything discussing are chamois. They have lots of air pockets, so when you get them wet and you squish them, they just... Gooey lower half of torso dropping back in the seat.
You have your earplugs in on that?
We're doing a car crash rig for the drive-through accident where Frankie gets killed. That big yellow ram, driven with air, acts to pull this cable that's running through it, which is attached to the 5-ton truck up behind us. So you see it hooked up on the front there. Basically what the rig does, that ram fills up with air and pulls that cable down, pulling this truck in. It gives us more speed than we could get on a short distance out of an engine or just using a regular engine in a truck. So that then comes into the back of the pickup truck, which is holding Kevin and Wendy, which isn't on the rig yet. The rig basically works off of this piece of I-beam here, so we can keep all the cars straight as they hit, so they don't, if you just hit a car, it might skid one way or the other. This rail lets us keep everything straight so that it'll happen in the direction Jim wants. That pickup truck will get crushed up. The engine is on another rig inside the pickup. That engine gets pushed up, and as the pickup truck crushes the back of the MG here and smashes in there, that engine will jump up into the back of where Frankie Cheek's head is sitting, and the fan on the front of the engine, which is driven by a little DC motor, will spin and chew up Frankie's head and spit him all over that window over there. Will this drive backwards when you fire it, or? It shouldn't. It might a bit, but there's enough weight and holding there that I don't think it'll drive it back.
All right, ready? Do you drill quiet here?
1, 2, 3!
We're in trouble.
Things went really pretty badly wrong on the moving van crash. When the truck stunt went awry, a 900-pound hydraulic cylinder came whistling across the set like it was a 2x4 and knocked over both our A and B cameras, which tipped over and of course didn't get the shot because they were pointing in the air when the crash happened. We were lucky hardly any damage occurred. You know, they're tough German cameras and they were actually okay. We just didn't get the shot. The first thing that I think most of us felt was shock because it's so unusual that anything goes wrong on those things. They've been tested 6 ways to Sunday and hardly ever anything goes wrong. I'm really glad we got everybody well back from that thing because you never want to see anybody get hurt.
Oh, we're fucked.
So various things were changed. Mostly what we decided to do was actually use the blind drive truck and find a way to safety that and make that a safe, effective way to do it. What that gave us in the final shot, which was a bonus in disguise, was a much longer run-in. But it's a very, very abrupt stop. It's like slamming into a brick wall with your face.
awesome, man. He took it all out.
That's what we're talking.
I met Fraser when I was working on MacGyver back in the late 80s. And my reaction to him was the same as most people have, which is, who the hell is he and where did he come from? And the thing I like about him is, first of all, he's one of the absolutely smartest people I've ever met.
No gas.
You know, he's good at his job, he comes up with solutions quickly, and he makes me laugh.
Put 2 boards again, we'll clap it.
What the fuck are you doing here?
What are we waiting in line for?
Damn.
Scared the hell out of me. That shit was loud. Pretty good.
Okay, another fire test here. Stay well back.
Got it in. 3, 2, 1.
Fuck!
Let me just. Let's. Okay.
Here we go. This is picture. And roll sound.
Do I got a zit? Is it noticeable?
Okay, getting what we have here, we have a propane cannon explosion going off in this area. There's a cannon over here and a cannon over here, just like we saw in the test earlier tonight. For those of you who didn't see it, it creates a big fireball here. There's a propane tank that's simulated. It's a fake one that we built that has a flame coming out of it here that is going off the top of the shot. When this fireball goes off, it will happen, it will die. That tank will get turned off so it isn't in the background so much anymore. That's the end of the shot. If anything goes wrong, I will call it and just ask everybody to stay put until we make safe. Action. There's a chance some of this paper may be burning a little bit afterwards. Once we all cut, we'll come in and put it out with a Hudson sprayer and some CO2s. We have fire safety stuff around the area here. And everything else is basically safetied off. Don't come in afterwards until we clear the area. Pretty straightforward. Ready? And...
We're starting the beginning of the T-bone event. The cars have essentially configured themselves in like a full T-boning position. So, you know, what we plan to do essentially is take 2 cars and just take it right through the first car that is now turned almost perpendicular to the other 2 cars. Each train is 6 feet plus. Each train weighs about 150 pounds apiece, so we've got 300 pounds of metal traveling in scale, it's 8th scale, at about 70 miles an hour through a fairly flimsy piece of fiberglass.
We're going to kind of let this go. We got 3 cameras going. We're not exactly sure how much of it we're going to get. It's sort of you plan it out to see what you get on film, but it should be pretty exciting. A lot of sparks, a lot of smoke, 2 trains colliding with quite a bit of force, and we'll see what happens.
You know, these cars are going to do what they're going to do. We're counting on physics to keep the train on the tracks. Essentially, it's just free floating.
Bungee's loaded.
The only thing that's holding our trains down to the track is gravity and a lot of prayers from our gang.
That's what it would be in real life. It wouldn't be awesome. Look at that.
It was a really technical shot where they started really close up on my eye, which is kind of the shot symbolizing that I just had a premonition. You know, they start close up on my eye and then zoom out to my face. And the first take that we did, I had a tear fall out of my eye, and Jim sort of liked that effect, so every take after that, he wanted to have that.
I'm waiting for a tear.
Sorry, it kind of threw me off that you were
Okay. Let's go. So John, just wait. Just stay. Don't say anything. Okay. I'm waiting for a tear.
When I saw the shot, it was sort of like, oh my God, what a great moment to have it come directly from her eye and the tear rose down her cheek. Of course, once you see that, you really want to get it. And, you know, we didn't really prepare Mary for that.
I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to work now.
Okay, let's cut.
It's always part of the business whenever you got to do an emotional scene where you look at it, you know, you read and you go, oh, I'm going to have to cry that day. Like, you know it's going to have to go down. But it's different when you're in a scene and you can get there, you know what I mean? When the writing takes you there or you can build up to memory. But whenever there's a diopter on a camera and it's this far from your eye and everybody's watching you, you got lights, you know what I mean? It's tough, man. It's really tough.
So I think it was a hard experience for Mary because she can definitely do it at a snap of her finger, but I think because of the nature of how he sprung it on her, it was more difficult than it would be normally, I think.
In tears fall, it's kind of activated by blinking or by scrunching your face up or something. That's kind of what makes them come out of your eye. So for me, I had to keep my eye like wide open like this, so the tears just like staying right there and not falling. So it was so frustrating because I was sitting there going, I can feel it. It's right there. Just fall, just fall. And it wouldn't.
Open your eyes a little wider, Mary. There you go.
So it was a pretty frustrating experience because I felt like I was letting down everybody because I couldn't make a tear come out of my left eye.
You guys, I'm sorry. It's just
okay, cut.
Couldn't Ariel put a tear in there for her, for crying out loud? What are those guys getting paid all that money for, huh?
Can you just get behind the camera again, please?
I couldn't stand there and just do that. So I have great respect for Mary. She's a hell of a crier. I was very, very proud of her. Yeah, since home.
It was probably one of the most challenging, you know, scenes I've done in film before, just because it was physically almost impossible at some points, so it was definitely challenging.
All right, good, very good. Thank you, Mary. Nice, like you. Casey,